Hey, good morning again, church family. We're so excited to be here as we start to wrap up Second Kings. So we're coming into the end of our chronological narrative, and we'll start recapping the story in the coming weeks. But we'll hit on that in future videos, just so we get our mind to where we're going. But for this week, what do we see? We are coming to the conclusion of the occupation of the Promised Land for the time being, unfortunately. Talking about the Northern Kingdom, the Southern Kingdom. Northern Kingdom saw 19 kings during their time with zero that were good. They were all evil. The Southern Kingdom, they had 20 kings, so they win. And they only had three kings that did what was right in the Lord's eyes entirely. So these kings are the ones who removed the high places, who were adherents of the law, who tried to cleanse the area. And then the others just did evil in the eyes of the Lord. Or if they did say, or the Bible did say they did what was right in the eyes of the Lord, it will still have in there, but they did not remove the high places. So that's what God is looking for, the entirety of the cleansing, the purge of the evil things. So because there was a lack of continued submission, even through the midst of the good kings in Judah, the southern kingdom, Yahweh still leads both kingdoms into exile. And that's where we're going to start to pick up this week.
Yeah, and specifically in Second Kings chapter 17, Israel is carried away in judgment by the Assyrians. Israel is the northern kingdom. And I'll just read verses 7 and 8 from that chapter. All this took place because the Israelites had sinned against the Lord their God, who had brought them up out of Egypt from under the power of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. They worshipped other gods and followed the practices of the nations the Lord had driven out before them, as well as the practices that the kings of Israel had introduced. So the northern kingdom of Israel is exiled out of their home, much like Adam and Eve were exiled from the garden.
Yeah.
And tragically, the people did not return to the Lord once they were there in exile and judgment in Assyria. They worshiped the Lord plus other gods. So there was no true heart change. And then we go to the southern kingdom, and in that kingdom of Judah, Hezekiah did lead the nation in repentance, but it just didn't last. His son Manasseh undid all the good and led the people into the same, if not worse, wickedness. Eventually, we come to King Josiah, he's arguably the greatest king since King David.
Yes.
Under his rule, the book of the law is discovered, and he leads the nation back to following Yahweh. But God says it's too late. From the text, it does not appear that the people, the nation, truly turned their hearts back to God, despite all that Josiah did to do this. So Judah is carried away in judgment and exile into Babylon. And again, we see a replaying of Eden. The people sinned against God, and God could not allow them to remain in his presence.
It's all really, really tragic situation. So collectively, talking about the nation of Israel, both the northern and the southern kingdoms here, they did not show through repentance or show true repentance through contrition. So what is contrition? It's a word we see a couple times in the Bible, and it means you have a deep, genuine remorse for harming somebody else. And so in that remorse, that's going to lead the harming party toward reconciliation, to seek reconciliation. So unfortunately, Israel and Judah, they did not feel any of that. You
Yeah.
see that through the judges, through the kings, all this time. There was never contrition that truly led to repentance. They were sad and sorry that they were suffering and that they got caught and they were being punished for their sins. But then you go back to King David. And this was, remember, it was a struggle because David did all these evil things still, but the Bible said he was a man after God's own heart. And this is why. Because as you read the Psalms, and you peer into David's heart, you see the fact that he realizes his heart is split. And through contrition, through that genuine remorse, he is seeking the Lord to repair his divided heart. Mm-hmm. Israel does none of that. And symbolically, their kingdom is divided along with their hearts. And so, as Israel continues with their divided hearts, even in exile, they continue to suffer, and they will continue to suffer until God chooses to relent. So, for us today, how do we apply this? How do we bring about a landing to this tragic story? We have to ask ourselves, where is our heart divided? And when we find those places, take the model of David, cry out to God in true, contrite repentance. Invite him into your space to heal your broken and divided heart. And God is faithful. He will. He will do that. He wants you. He wants your heart. So I hope you're encouraged this week, even in the dark times of our reading. I hope that you're really encouraged by what we're uncovering together.
Good. Keep reading, keep listening. We'll see you next week.
All right. Have a good weekend.